fall.
It's Fimo time!
I've soiled my tunic.
Hey guys, welcome back to Don't Just Lick Stuff. I'm Seth, of course. Joined with me is everyone's favorite sister, Savy. Say hi.
Hi, Savy.
Hi, Savy, indeed. Are we going to do that every time?
Yeah.
Okay. This is an Adventure Time rewatch podcast called Don't Just Lick Stuff, where we make food or drinks inspired by the episodes, and we're really bad at it. So
We're not that bad.
I know, honestly, we've been kind of killing it. I mean...
The first episode was a little... And then, I mean...
I still haven't really recovered from last week.
episode. Yeah. Last week was emotionally a lot.
The wind was out of my sails after, like, when we did the reveals and everything came crashing. If you know, you know, but...
I believe we titled it The Cursed Episode.
Or was it the cursed episode or the cursed drink?
It could have been either one.
Yeah.
But it's a new week.
It's a new week.
Nothing can go wrong.
Let's see, famous last words. Let's see how emotionally or physically damaged we become today.
Yes.
Speaking of emotional damage, this episode is called...
Prisoners of Love.
Thank you, I actually forgot.
I did for a hot second.
You're like, oh, I'm
as soon
on
as
the
you
spot.
started drum rolling, I was like, panic.
There's two types of people, because when I panic, everything drops out. It's gone. But you came through, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, under pressure. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Well, with this episode, why don't you...
Is there anything going on with you?
Oh. I mean...
Mentally, or...
Besides the fact that, as we discussed last week, I'll never trust you again.
Shut up.
Hard to get over that one. But, I mean...
You came back.
I did. Begrudgingly.
Begrudgingly. I think we just started this podcast.
It's too early for these kinds of problems, Abby. No, it's been pretty chill. It's raining this next 10 days, I heard.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm surprised. I'm in the headphones right now. I'm like, I can't hear it, so that's good. But
We've got a pretty well insulated house.
I don't know.
I mean, Dad's...
Well, his roof is
It's tin. Yeah, so you can hear it.
I knew that. I knew that would have been a problem if we recorded there, but
Yeah, it would have been a really big problem because it's
and 4 dogs in the house.
and kitty.
Yeah, there's no way. But I just wasn't sure. I'm like, because of the proximity to the window, we're not in a cellar.
It's actually kind of hard to ever hear the rain, except for when it's pouring, and then when it's thundery. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I'm like, man, I wish I could hear it more.
Right. Throw me a bone.
For podcasting purposes, it makes sense.
This is nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what about you? Anything going on? Because I guess I didn't really answer your question, but not much really.
You're like, rain.
Anyways, the weather.
Nothing crazy. Just working. We're actually recording this on a Saturday
I
since Seth gave me
know.
so much shit about recording on a Monday.
Yeah. We both deserve prep time.
Yes, but I work today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got up today. We are the same. That's working up.
That's working up is getting out of bed.
Getting out of bed is the equivalent of 8 hours of work, which I don't think you did today.
I didn't do 8 hours of work, no.
Good for you. You should.
I
With
did.
your condition?
With my condition?
Tell everyone about your freak hand.
I have a genetic condition, guys. It's called hypermobile Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And shut up. Seth is looking very bored.
What? What's up?
Anyways, I hyperextend my joints all the time.
Oh, that's crazy.
And sprain things and strain things constantly.
I'm sorry. Sorry I'm making fun of your disorder.
It's a disability, Seth. How dare you?
Get a placard.
I have one.
I was like, no way.
No, I still feel weird. I mean, it's not weird that it is a disability.
Right. No, I'm not minimizing that.
No, but it's just, it feels weird.
Right, when you're you almost
'Cause
want to say, it's not a real one, but you're like, wait.
But it is.
Yeah, I know what
But
you mean, though.
yeah.
The...
But it's I'm still young and healthy and I can walk into the store just fine. I don't need the disabled parking spots. Maybe at some point I will, because it's a lifelong kind of deal.
Could affect your lower phalanges.
Well, it affects every joint.
Every phalanges.
Every phalanges. So anyways, there's a lot more. It's not just the hypermobile joints, but we're not gonna, this is not a medical podcast.
It's not really a food podcast either. If you're saying we're not medical experts, I assure you we're not food experts.
Well, I'm saying
either.
like they're not here for this.
Well, they want to get to know you and all
That's true.
the things going on with you.
More will be revealed eventually.
Tell me more about what's wrong with you.
You first.
No.
Yeah, no, so the news for me, I guess, is that I got new thumb splints so that when I'm working, it doesn't hurt my hands.
You know what they did remind me of, and I wanted to save it specifically for the podcast because I was like, this is silly. And, you know, you might understand my humor here, but they remind me of, like, I picture, like, if you were, like, thumbs were puppets, they'd be, like, like little, like, the genie harnesses for, like... So, you know, rest in peace, Robin Williams. But, like, you know how he has his, like...
Oh, the little cuffs on his wrist? Yeah,
That's
okay.
what they remind me of. And I was like, you ain't never had a friend, never had a friend. You ain't never had
My
a friend.
thumbs are free.
Well, they're not, because they have the cuffs on them.
That's true. They don't currently, because they're loud.
Yeah. Clink, clink.
They're really loud. Because when I was working, I would, like,
Hit 'em
touch my
together.
thumbs together, because... It sounds so weird, but it would just be like a little clink, clink, you know. I'm like, because they're sterling silver,
Right.
so
Brag.
they look like jewelry.
They were like $1.5 thousand each.
No, they were.
Tell everyone how wealthy
each.
you are. 150,000.
No, 150 doll hairs each, and it's expensive.
That's a pretty penny.
Eventually, I want to get ones for like each finger, but that's gonna take some time because they're expensive.
Like Thanos,
I gotta collect the Infinity Gauntlet, but I'm like looking at the pictures of them because they're really cool looking, and I'm like, my hands are gonna be like full of plate mail.
Honestly, you're gonna look like you could get something like that from Hot Topic.
I'm gonna look so fucking sick,
you know, like the
dude.
skeleton gloves, like
Yeah.
the thing, or what was it in Dropout, like in
what was it?
Remember, they were passing it around. It was like for the final. Okay.
Oh, like for the finger thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember.
What was that called?
I don't know. That's stuff that I'm going to invest in.
You know what you could buy instead of that? A whole park for dinosaurs.
I don't think they cost that much.
You could buy Jurassic Park.
That'd be crazy if that were the case.
Because 150,000 times.
They're not 150,000.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
They're
10. 1.5 million in 1993. That bought a dinosaur park.
Not
No.
150,000.
What is it? No expenses spared or whatever he says.
Yeah, no expenses spared.
Is that what he says? Feels like it's a misquote, and they're gonna roast us.
We spared no expense.
No expenses spared.
No expenses spared.
It's like
We spared no expense.
It's like how can you make this like legally distinct? Legally distinct Jurassic Park.
Yeah, we're not copying it.
No. Well, what do you think? That's enough getting to know each other again.
Getting to know you.
Getting to know you.
You don't know the song.
I do.
Oh, you do?
I just can't remember what it's from. Is
Getting
it?
to know all about
Oh God, that's stupid ass Sound of Music.
Yeah.
Fucking Nazis. All of them.
All of them. Everyone in there.
The kids.
The women and the children.
Topical. Don't make me do it.
Oh no. Sorry. I was thinking the Star Wars. No, the women and the children too.
I was like, what?
Not just the men.
Yeah. Well, Star Wars is always topical.
Yeah, but I thought like something happened. Like, what exactly?
George Lucas is a Nazi.
I was like, what do you mean?
Savvy, I don't know what to tell you this, like how to tell you this, but stormtroopers were based on Nazis.
Yeah.
I think they literally had stormtroopers. That's
Yeah.
like what they were called, yeah.
The Empire, however, was based on America during, what was it? Was it the Vietnam conflict?
Probably. That's like, I mean, that makes sense.
For the
That was
time.
pretty fresh, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the one it was. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense because they're just...
It's not a Star Wars podcast.
Because they're just hopping, instead of islands, they're hopping planets.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very much like the occupation and that sort of aspect. But yes, the stormtroopers themselves were definitely
Stormtrooping.
a rip-off of the Nazis.
Yeah. Guess we're supposed to, not root for them, so.
Yeah, no.
So, anyways, let's...
In case anyone's wondering if you should root for Nazis, you shouldn't.
Nor should you vote for them. Then let's get into this
Correct.
episode.
All right, so season 1, episode 3, Prisoners of Love. You want to hear the synopsis?
What if I say no?
Well, you're gonna. So Finn and Jake must free themselves and 7 princesses from the Ice King. Easy peasy, right?
Is that it?
That's the whole synopsis.
Okay.
So this aired on April 12th, 2010.
Mm-hmm.
The director was Larry Leichleader. The story was by Adam Muto and Craig Lewis.
Oh, that sounds like a new name.
A new name. This episode was written and storyboarded by Pendleton Ward
Thank you.
and Adam Muto. And as we all know, Pendleton Ward is the creator of the show.
Thank you. He will not be slandered by you anymore.
All right, do you want to jump into it then?
Yeah. I just wanted to start off by talking about... the intro of this episode was actually pretty... it wasn't like what we've seen out of them before. Mm-hmm. Yes, it kind of started within, the action, in episode 1, they start mid-conversation sort of thing. Episode 2, what was episode 2?
Trouble in Lumpy Space.
Yeah, so...
with the mallow tea ceremony.
Yeah, so it's they do stuff like that, but this one felt different because it was just the bros being bros.
Yeah.
And they were hopping on sleds. And the sled was an office chair. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah. I have to say, though, I love that we just start mid whatever's going on.
Me too.
I think that's such a great way of just here we go. You're
Right.
in the story. It's not
there's no build up to it to start. No pressure. It's it's basically you just woke up and you're like, oh, that's what they're doing.
And I feel like that's kind of how the show is in general, is you get no explanation for how the world is.
Right. There's a lot of backstory, a lot of mentions of things that are happening in the background that we're when do we see that? We don't. Right.
Well, and then especially for the first season, it's kind of all fever dream, separate things. And then it eventually connects later and everything. But it's there's no promise that this is going to lead to anything later. You're not beholden to it, and it's not beholden to you. It's just kind of there are some episodes where there is a sequential order later in the seasons and stuff, but it's just you're here, you're in the world, and it's operating whether you're here or not, kind of a vibe, which is really neat.
That's kind of what I was saying. It feels like you just woke up into it. And I feel like I could wake up, I could be sick and wake up at any point during an Adventure Time episode and be like, is this the beginning?
Yeah, pretty much. Because
it's where are we?
And that's not to say that they don't have a structured
they
conflict or
do.
anything, but it's just you're existing in this world, and the world doesn't stop because you're not paying attention to it,
Which brings me to, obviously they're sledding on this office chair.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny, because at first I didn't notice. I just thought it was a sled, and then I was like, it's got wheels.
Yeah.
What's going on? They take off, they're going over sick jumps, and they end up crashing into this little snow monster guy and knocks its head off, and you see its little tongue wiggling, and then he
where its neck should be.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Is your tongue your spine? I don't... That would be horrifying.
Dude, don't just lick stuff.
Dude, don't.
Don't do it.
When you think about licking stuff, just rebuild your head into a cat. And then they take this huge jump and they crash and their sled's broken. In fact, he says, oh no, our sled is broken.
Oh no.
Let's make one out of snow, he said, which kind of made me laugh. Finn, what the hell? But it's just yeah, that's a kid idea for sure.
That's such a kid idea. We'll just make one out of snow. And it's that's not how that works at all.
And Jake's not listening. He's just expanding already, and he becomes sled, and that was lovely. And I just really liked that, and it just brought me back to probably the first time I watched it, where I'm you're still kind of getting used to the fact that he's a magical dog,
yeah,
do whatever. And when you're a kid watching it, it was just whoa, that'd be so awesome. That was, I don't know, I really liked it.
It's just of course he would turn into a sled,
right,
you know?
You? And he says that sleds are for suckers. Just ride on my gut. And then, so then they go and they have a good time. And then
I love when they switch. It's
I was
very
just
funny.
about to say he switches, and he just does like a sick kickflip off of him, and then like starts coasting on Finn.
Finn goes on his belly, right?
Yeah, he goes on his belly and he starts freezing. And he's like, switch back. And then they switch back. But I did see when they switched back, there was a frame or 2, 3, 4 frames when they land. Did you notice like the skull?
Yeah.
What it looked like? I put mammoth ?
It was weird looking.
It was like basically like cow skull kinda, not without the horns,
but like huge, right?
And then it wasn't that big, but maybe in comparison, I don't remember what the scale of it was, but it had tusks.
Yeah,
and I thought that was weird.
There were a few skulls during that sledding scene, and I was like, how weird, how interesting.
I mean, it kind of tells you like, yeah, it's obviously in like kind of adventure RPG style world where it's like, yeah, you're gonna run into some bones, like just
it's
randomly.
a very lived in kind of world, right? Like things have died here.
Yeah, but it just made me like think about, I was like, because there's stuff in here that pays off later, and I'll like way later, and I'll get to that when we get there. But I'm just thinking about skulls. I was like wondering if that specific skull was anything. I'm like, it's not the Lich, it's nothing like that,
right?
But I was just wondering if we could see that for later. But anyways, penguins, and that was really cute. And then they end up going through this like icy hole kind of ride on it, and then they fly out, and I'm a flying dog. Also, something in my heart was like, that's so cute.
It was super cute.
It was a flying dog, and then they like fist bump.
Yeah.
And then in my notes I wrote this. I'm like, they crash onto an unsuspecting ice king who is for some reason shoveling snow into a rather small wheelbarrow. Did
you not see what he was trying to bury?
No.
It was a box with a like dead frog. Oh. Or what we would assume is like a dead frog, you know? He was burying like a little shoebox.
I did see when he like got crashed into that more than just him in a wheelbarrow was flying.
Yeah.
And the shovel.
Like, so like the box opened and like a frog kind of fell out.
I didn't see that.
Isn't that crazy?
Why? Well, yeah, anyway, I was just wondering like why he had the wheelbarrow in the first place. It comes up later, but it was just funny. I was like, why does he have a the
wheelbarrow's weird.
Smallest wheelbarrow, and like, because even if he is transporting a dead frog, like because my thought was he was shoveling it and he was gonna put it into the wheelbarrow. I'm like, what the hell is he doing? He can make snow.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure. That makes more sense, but it doesn't.
It kind of, but kind of not. Yeah.
Which brings me right to drumroll. Conflict number 1. The Ice King cometh.
Oh no.
Ew.
Please don't.
Finn and Jake, they seem to encroach on the Ice King's domain. He makes that very clear. He
doesn't like trespassers.
No, which that's another thing I'm going to get to. It's in here, and it's very funny to me that I want to know way more about. But anyways, he's like, do you even know what you're dealing with? Do you know what Ice King means?
Right.
Yeah. A big nerd. Which is a classic line. Oh, Holy Cow debuted right there.
Oh, yeah.
I think so, right?
Yeah, because we've had Slam a Cow before.
Yes. Oh, Holy Cow.
Oh, Holy Cow.
That was the first time there. And then he brings up trespassing, quoting Ice World Law, which I simply must know more. What other...
It simply doesn't exist, from what I can tell.
Even if it did, the most normal thing on that list has to be no trespassers.
For Ice World Law. Yeah.
So I want to see it. I want to know if there's ever like, we'll see a scene somewhere where there's like a book, like in a bookshelf, and like just a random book will say Ice World Law.
That'd be really cool.
If we find that,
get in the comments, guys. Get in the comments.
Get in there. But yeah, that would be insane. The reason Finn and Jake kind of gave him like that, they were there. They're like, hey, we're just trying to beat the heat, man. Like, there's a big old lava monster guy on our front yard right now, and it's getting real hot.
And he's really hot.
He's so hot. Oh, he's just so hot. And then Jake's like, makes a big old deal of it. And then Finn's like, no, not like that. And he's like, no.
You do mean it like that.
I don't mean it like sexy hot. I'm like,
yeah, you do. You do mean sexy hot. I think it's something like that.
I think that's pretty much exactly what it did. Ice King has had enough of their speculation on Finn's preferences and says, I don't care. And then he just the king of cool. He calls himself the king of cool. He starts sicking these snow monsters on Finn and Jake.
Yeah.
And
they start fighting some snow monsters.
And it had little to no impact. It was like, okay, they're just fun to beat up. It's kind of harmless, and they whoop them.
They do. I want to say, so there was DVD commentary on this one.
Oh gosh.
And it had Pendleton Ward, John DiMaggio, Tom Kenny, and Jeremy Shada.
Mm-hmm.
The little tiny snow monster that goes to like beat on Jake was voiced by Jeremy Shada.
Oh really?
And, yeah.
I didn't remember it. Did it speak or just,
it just
make
like
noises?
Screamed when he died, kind of a deal,
That's funny.
And he was like, yeah, that was my first voice other than Finn, and it's like, aw, cute. Yeah. And he was saying also that he thought that this was probably the first episode that he recorded too.
Oh, okay.
They don't record them all in the same time, but he was like, I'm pretty sure this was the first one that we did.
And we don't either, guys.
We don't know. Oh, you mean we don't record them?
This is actually our 19th episode, so
guess however you want how this works.
You would have thought we would have gotten this down. This actually leads us perfectly to conflict number 2.
They gasp.
Do you want to guess what it's called?
I mean, they're hit over the head.
That's not what it's called. It's called Elsa Who?
Elsa, how would I ever guess that?
I don't know. I just wanted you to guess something.
That'd be really funny.
I don't know. Elsa Who? I'm like, you looked at the Dropbox.
Did you put it in there?
Yeah. Anyways, it's called Elsa Who because they get frozen. I write in my notes as well. I said, I guess Ice King having the wheelbarrow becomes justified.
Yeah.
As he zaps Finn and Jake frozen and has to carry their bodies to the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm wondering if the wheelbarrow was there for that purpose.
Oh, probably.
But also, they wouldn't have needed it. like if they just showed him holding a wheelbarrow and like, yeah, he had a wheelbarrow. Like if they didn't show it initially, but then showed him like pushing him. My problem with the scene wouldn't have been like, where'd he get that wheelbarrow?
Where'd it come from? I don't know, in the ice shed or something. Like, yeah. He went and grabbed it, came back, and wheeled them. Because they're frozen. What are they going to do?
Yeah, and also he can fly, so I also don't know why he doesn't just kind of...
Maybe they're too heavy.
Maybe, but...
Like when they're encased in ice, you know?
Maybe, yeah. Can't carry that much water. I also really like the part where we find out Ice King's favorite snack.
Yes.
Not just trail mix, but like the yogurt chips was like a pleasant surprise to the pleasant surprise that was trail mix.
Absolutely.
So
the trail mix is crucial.
Yes. I gotta admit, and I don't know what you made. I think you told me beforehand you made a drink, so
I did, because I wasn't sure if you were going to make the trail mix.
I did not make the trail mix.
I just wanted to be like, hey, feel free to make it.
I felt like I mean, it never really crossed my mind as I think maybe it did once, but I was like, well, that's stupid. I'm not making anything.
Like, I'm just combining things.
I'm just buying a pack of trail mix.
Oh, you're not even buying separate things and
Why
making
would I do that? That's so much unnecessary. If I was just gonna, buy a whole bunches of everything, and then I have unlimited trail mix.
You're all boom trail mix.
No,
not even a custom blend. Come on,
I would buy the yogurt chips, if anything,
just
separately, and make that the prominent feature. Make that the M&M.
Make that the M&M of the trail mix. Right. You'd go through and pick them all out and replace them with the yogurt chips.
Right. And it has been revealed now in when he wheelbarrows them to his domain, to his house, his abode, that he's hoarding princesses.
Yes.
About 6 of them.
I actually do want to put a quick note on the trail mix.
Before we get into the heavier topics of consent.
Yeah.
And possibly Stockholm Syndrome. Go on.
Ice King's like picking through the trail mix, like that scene, I guess was like way longer in the storyboarding process. And then they ended up like shaving it down for time. But that specifically is what sold Tom Kenny on the series.
Oh, nice.
And also this episode is what got the show greenlit by Cartoon Network.
Oh, cool. So it probably was their first episode that they recorded.
It probably was. But yeah, so that was like, they were like sold for some reason.
I think the comedy of it being like, they're allowing it to take a beat to dig through trail mix.
Because it was a hot second. Like, a cold second. I don't know. It's Ice King.
A frozen second.
But it was an amount of time that you wouldn't need to spend.
Right.
But it was just really funny. And I guess it was longer before.
This actually, I can't believe I didn't even like lead the episode with this, but it's Tom Kenny. That's one of the most successful, most famous, most lovely voice. I mean, I'm not saying like, oh, that's Tom Kenny. I'm saying that's Tom Kenny.
That's
like,
Tom
we
Kenny.
got him.
Yeah.
This is kind of a short gap between Conflict 2 and Conflict 3 because it was a pretty short series of events where he zaps him to freeze, rifles through his trail mix, and then immediately we find princesses in a cage.
Yes.
And
the main conflict, I would say.
This is the wordiest conflict I've had.
Oh, okay.
Relationships are cool, but they shouldn't be cold.
Oh, damn. That's super deep, dude.
And let that be a lesson for you kids. They shouldn't be cold to you. They shouldn't keep you behind cold bars.
No.
Anyway.
If anybody tries to lock you up, leave.
I can't stress that enough. Unless you're into it, that's your business.
If they try to lock you up against your will, leave.
Leave. Anyways, we find out his plan pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
He's not very subtle. He's not like a secret mastermind. He's just like, no, I want them. Like, I want to marry one of them. And everyone's kind of like...
And like, how would I know unless I capture all of them
Right,
first?
Jake's like, why do you need 6? He's like, marriage is complicated. Savvy, you know, marriage is complicated.
Marriage is so complicated. I can't tell you how many people I locked up in my house.
How many people did you lure to your house to make sure you got your husband? At least 6.
At least 6.
But Finn's
but
like,
you gotta be sure.
You gotta be sure.
How are you sure unless you capture like 6 or 7 people?
Guess what? I'm not sure. And
you haven't captured 6 or 7 Goyles.
No, I have, but
wait.
I'm just not sure yet.
Still feeling it out. I see.
Yeah. Yeah, Finn's obviously like, let him go. They don't want to be here. And Ice King's like, oh, of course they do. You know, I'd kill them if they didn't want to be here.
And then the girl's like,
nodding along. And Finn kind of does his little hero speech that will kind of go through more and more, but basically he's like, I won't let this happen. Like, I vow that you can escape here and you can marry whoever you want to, any sweet thing
of your choosing.
Any sweet thing of your choosing. And that comes up later. Also, interesting note, hot dog princess barking.
Yeah, that's actually in the trivia.
Is it really?
It's a hot dog princess barks in this episode and talks or mumbles in others.
But I guess technically we haven't seen her yet at all, huh?
No, I think it's her first appearance, but in future future episodes.
Yeah.
She's not Melissa.
She's pretty close.
Speaking of LSP, they were like, oh, I think this is the first episode we see LSP. And I'm like, nope.
Wrong.
They must have watched these out of order while they were doing the commentary. Like how we record ours out of order. And
so out of order.
So they were asking Pendleton Ward, Penn. You know,
we call him Penn.
We call him Penn because we're best friends.
So
like,
delusional.
How LSP started, and he said that he was just cursing in a Valley Girl accent, like around the office, and like the voice came before the character.
Yeah.
And so he was just kind of like,
oh yeah, fuck,
yeah,
piss.
Exactly.
Her first canon word is piss. No, but that makes sense. What's it called? Yeah, Hot Dog Princess barking kind of came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Mostly because, I mean, it makes sense in the context of the show because we haven't seen her yet. But, like...
And she's a hot dog, right?
She's a hot dog, and she is barking. It makes sense. But, like, it's the first time we see her in the show. But we've seen her, so we know she doesn't bark. Mm-hmm. So it was all sorts of confusing.
It was weird.
Oh, and then Finn has a flute. He's digging around trying to...
He also has trail mix.
Yeah, he did. That was funny. I laughed at that too. He's digging through his pack what he can do to like throw at Ice King and attack him, and he finds trail mix. He's like, trail mix. But he finds his flute. He's like, yeah, my flute. Comes up. Later.
His flute, yes. Multiple times.
Yes.
Not this version of it, though.
No. And what I found really funny about this version of this flute is obviously when he throws it at the Ice King, it just breaks and like all the segments where it's taped just falls apart.
Yeah.
And then Jake's like, oh, you like silly man, like we used it we broke it trying to pick the heart or pick the lock of a sad ogre's heart.
Yeah.
And I put in parentheses, need to see that footage. That's another example of like things where it's like the world's going on. Like
they don't explain anything.
And I wish that had a payoff where like later the ogre's like, hey, thanks for picking the lock to my sad heart.
Or even like a scene where you cut away to them like shoving the thing like into the lock and trying to do it, and
but then it's Family Guy.
it would be kind of Family Guy-esque.
And we don't want that for the show. I do like Family Guy, but this is also the first time we hear Ice King like laugh.
He does this little like laugh dance thing.
Yeah. Nice try, boy.
Boy.
Conflict number 4. Elsa, come get you, man.
And she's not a princess, though.
That's true.
She's a queen.
I'm saying get your man because...
Get your man.
Because he gotta stop freezing people.
Mm-hmm. Because Jake is like, key hand.
Yeah, he's about to do his key hand, get us out of there, lickety split, full frozen.
Full frozen.
He has got crazy reflexes, Ice King does.
Yeah.
Until he doesn't. And we'll get to that.
And then he's like this old doddering, like...
Then he's a crazy old man, but sometimes he's a supreme sorcerer, like wizard person. I guess he's technically a sorcerer, huh?
I mean, he calls himself a wizard, but yeah.
He doesn't study.
No, he like inherits these powers from a cursed object.
Is he a warlock?
More warlock than in D&D terms, that is.
Mm-hmm.
You know, technically more warlock, but like has more spell slots.
And just like, very innate magic, I guess. But that's because of Crown. We don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I'll say that for a Simon and Marcy episode.
Or maybe we'll do a bonus episode where we assign D&D characteristics to different characters.
Yeah, we could do that.
We make character sheets for them. That'd be kind of fun.
That would be, you know what? That's the next thing you're going to hear, guys.
That'll be a bonus episode.
Cutting right now. Anyways, key hand, he gets frozen, blah, 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 blah. Finn loses his shit.
Yeah.
He's like,
he gets all red in the
fuck
face.
you, piece of fucking shit. Was that censored in any of the versions?
The part where he says, fuck you, you piece of fucking shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No, it wasn't? Okay, cool. Because I saw it in my version. I don't know what you watched, but...
Yeah, no, that, none of what Finn really said, besides, well, we'll get to that, besides an earlier comment, was censored.
Interesting. I feel like I know.
There's honestly not a lot of censorship for this episode.
That's good, because last time it was too much.
It was so much. That's why I was just kind of like skipping stuff at one point.
Can I guess?
Huh.
Because I wrote a note about it, and in my notes I put an asterisk. It's at the beginning. Was it like when it says sleds are for suckers?
That was one of them.
No way.
That line was cut out.
Hell yeah.
And then, here, I'll just say the ones that have already happened.
Yeah, we're in it now.
Finn and Jake arguing about the context that hot is used as cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So those are the two that have already happened.
Okay, I'm glad I got one of them. I was not going to guess that one, even though I probably could have. But
yeah, but you forget, you know.
Yeah. And then after Finn loses his shit, Jake tells Finn, hey, gotta calm down. You gotta tend to these princesses.
Don't freak him out
I'm
more.
all good, dude. Like, I can handle it. You know, nothing he's never had happen before. Probably. But then he's
pretty chill.
He's tending to the princess. He asks Slime Princess, like, what's going on? And she's like, yeah, dude, we've been here for weeks. I was like, dang.
It's so long. I mean, there was like the scratched on the wall. Was that Raggedy Princess doing that? I can't remember who did that.
Oh, with the tallies that they were doing?
Yeah.
When she was explaining about the quirky questions and what sports they like or whatever.
Yeah.
I think so. I think it was her. I can't remember either. I remember it happening, and I can't. Could have been any of them. But
scratching the days into the wall.
It's gotta be her. Maybe she's got like a little bony hand or something. Yeah. Anyway, she's like, we tried to tell him as little as we can.
Yeah, I understand.
And then he's like, how about you, Elspie? How are you faring?
Yes. I'm bar.
Well, how about you gonna be fun? And then Ice King comes back and he's like offended. He's like,
not having fun.
Not having fun, but last night we read, and what he says is, baby wants it in the bottle, Prince. But if you pause, and I think we were talking about this before,
yeah,
but I didn't spoil the name. If you pause and look at the book, it actually says Baby Wuzzlefoot and the Wuddlebugs.
Oh.
It's spelled.
So he just says it kind of like Baby, what's a foot and what's it?
And the Bottle Prince.
Yeah.
I don't know where Bottle Prince came. That's why I was telling you. I was like, he kind of gets it at first, and he loses it at the end.
Yeah.
But Baby Woozlefoot, and that's WHOOZLE.
Oh, not what I thought.
FUT, Woozlefoot.
Oh, okay.
And the Wuttlebugs, WTTLEBUGS, one word.
Wow.
And he says, Baby, what's it? And the Bottle Prince. So
the bottle part I could see, but the prince is...
Where do you get bottle?
What was the second thing?
And the Wuttlebugs? Maybe bottle.
The Wuddle, yeah.
I can see. Okay. Well, he wasn't
it's
that
like TTLE kind of deal, you know?
Yeah. Well, he was wrong. And
and crazy.
And insane. And then LSP sasses him back. That wasn't fun. That was lame. Really deep on the lame. Now I'm thinking about it, you can actually tell this is the first recorded one because LSP's voice is like different.
Yeah.
And it's very
yeah.
versus like you know what I mean.
Yes.
And so she's like, it's freaking lame.
Is this when he pulls out the keyboard?
Not quite yet, I don't think. Wait, no, he does. Yeah.
So when he goes to pull the keyboard out, I don't know if you saw, but there in the commentary they talk about how there's like the frog on there. Yeah. And so Pendleton Ward just kind of started laughing about it because he was like, I forgot I put this in here, you know? And he said the frog on the keyboard was the companion to the stuffed frog that Ice King buried in the beginning of the episode.
Wait, so
it wasn't even a real frog. It was a stuffed frog.
You were holding out on me?
I know. Oh, because I wanted
That's funny.
Show the connection. Because I saw the frog and I was like, oh, his pet frog died. And then like we get in and Pendleton Moore's like, yeah, you buried a stuffed frog.
You know what's funny? I never thought of it like as it being like him burying his pet. Like when you were just
That's what I thought.
No, like I didn't even think about like that part of it. Him burying his pet. I'm thinking because he's weird. I'm like, it's either that frog is alive or he was being weird with this frog. Not like that, but you know, like some shady shit was going on with this frog. He's like, gotta bury it.
Like it owed him money and he killed it.
Yeah, or something. Like I don't know. Nothing about it to me was like, oh, that's his pet. When you told me
sure thought that's what it was because he had him in like a little shoebox, like when you bury a pet, you know.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah, just the reveal of like, oh, he buried a stuffed frog is crazy.
I'm wondering like how that even occurred.
I don't. Again, it explains nothing.
Right.
Like I wouldn't have even thought about it. Aside from like, oh, he buried his pet, if I wasn't listening to the DVD commentary, you know?
Yeah. Anyways, well, with that knowledge, yes, he is trying to teach Wildberry Princess to play the little riff, and he goes like, also, I don't know if you noticed, the first time he plays it outside of the bars, he plays it on like the left side, like where all the like lower keys are.
Yeah. Which
I'm like, okay, whatever. But then
they flip it.
And then he brings it to the bars and like, put your hands to the little bars and do this, and guides her hand to play the melody. And then it's on the right side, which it's like, okay, whatever. But she's like, I don't know if I can.
Just play the song.
And I wrote a note in here. I said, trying to teach Wildberry Princess keyboard is the way I teach people stuff. And I'm like, okay, and do it.
I know, like
It's hard.
It is a thing of like, you can be really good at something, but also be really bad at teaching that thing. And part of it's just kind of how your brain works, right?
Right.
Like sometimes, because for you, you're like naturally gifted at like musical stuff, right?
Stop.
And
SethBaldwinmusic@gmail.com. Hit me up for inquiries.
And it was, but you won't follow us on Instagram, so.
No, I will not. You can cut my plug.
So anyways, you're like naturally good at things like music and stuff like that.
Stop.
Where you kind of just know how to do it without like fully thinking about how to do it. You just like kind of automatically
I think it's because I have the basics of like I don't have to think about, if you tell me to like, if you show me how to do something on the guitar, I'll know it because I know how he's doing that thing, how she's doing that thing.
And it's intuitive too.
And like I could see it and I'm like, okay, I understand that. I can hear you sliding that and doing that. But like to a person who's never played a guitar before,
right?
It's like you gotta know how to like press the string.
Yeah.
To not make it make a fuzzy sound,
Right. We haven't even gotten to that part.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's hard because I'm like, I feel like even if I teach you and you get it like once, I'm like, great, now you know that. Instead
like
of being
forever.
Like, now instead like, oh, practice that over and over again, then we'll do the next thing.
Yes.
No, I'm like, why don't you get
it? It's too tedious for you.
Right.
Even though like I said, you have a lot of like natural talent, but it's also like you have kind of the education base for that too,
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're just like, I don't know, I'm just making shit up,
Sometimes.
But I mean, sure, that's music, right? And art in general, like you just kind of like, I just started doing it,
Right.
But yeah, you have like the theory and all that stuff behind it, and then you also have that talent, so these things just come a lot faster to you rather than someone who has to kind of like work at it a little bit more. And also you practice constantly because it's fun for you, you know.
All I heard is that I'm wicked talented.
Wicked talented.
And I thank you. This is the first time we get to see Ice King in general, but then also first look at his drum kit.
Yeah.
Number one babe.
And
so he gets out, he's playing drums exactly how you'd expect a person who looks like and acts like him to play drums.
Yes.
Very erratically.
And he got like real sweaty with it.
Yeah. He got real sweaty with it. Sometimes, didn't you ever play drums and just get sweaty with it?
But I mean, he was like, like breathing hard.
It felt, I don't want to say it, but it felt like he was enjoying it a lot.
Ooh, yee.
But didn't it feel, because when he burst his drum kit, he was like, he didn't make that noise, but it was just like a very, and like, I don't know if this was intentional, but it literally like built up and just popped. And I thought it was like weird, and I was like, "Oh no!"
It is weird that you describe it. I kind of took it more as like he was just being like very erratic, and then was like caught up in the moment and just like couldn't keep up is what I was thinking. Like
couldn't keep up.
Like he was like getting all manic about it, and then all of a sudden he was like sweating and like breathing heavy, and was just kind of like not like that.
I'm
though.
just saying.
I mean. Maybe that's how it was, and maybe I just interpreted it this way, but...
You guys should see my face. When she said getting all hot and sweaty, I like lifted my eyebrows, tilted my head. I'm like, come on.
But anyways, yeah. No, I felt like...
That's not even in my notes. This is just something I'm thinking about now, where I'm like, that was weird.
It was super weird. I just felt like he was like old man stressed. You know what I mean?
Like Vietnam shit. Some flashbacks. Anyways, first time we get to see him on drums.
Yeah.
Another note. In this whole scene, Finn puts on some funny faces.
He really does. Like a lot of faces.
Some thick-ass eyebrows in there.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was very silly. Like, artistic choice to... It's like faces we haven't seen from him yet. He gets like real eyes for a little bit or something. Or like rounder eyes. I don't remember.
Yeah, it was strange.
But they're not just the dots anymore. I don't think so anyway. But... Anyways, he's thinking of a plan. He convinces Ice King to go get more fun stuff because he's like, that was so fun. He's like, yeah, you should go get more fun stuff. Get out of here, scram. And then once he leaves, he kind of is like, all right, listen up, ladies.
What does Ice King say as he leaves? Do you remember?
Let me think.
I can't quite remember, but he said something like really sad.
Yeah, it was something of the effect of like,
I hope they like me.
Yeah, something like that. He says that a lot.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things. But basically he says like, all right, let's form a plan.
Well, when Ice King was walking out saying like, I hope they like me or whatever he ends up saying, John DiMaggio was like, oh. And he's like, why is Ice King so needy? You know, like what is up with this guy? And Pendleton Ward said that he was based on him. And everyone's like, on
Pendleton?
Penn.
Okay.
Yeah. And they're like, oh. He's like, yeah, no, Ice King was based on me.
Dang.
Well, I mean, he made a whole show, so he's kind of needy.
Yeah, a little needy. What needs way too much attention. Make a whole show to talk about himself. What a loser. No, but
insists that we name him as the creator of the show every time we talk about him in this episode.
I know, he's so needy. He texts me every time.
Hey, remember.
He barks
Hot
at
Dog
me.
Princess?
No, he barks at me. Hot Dog Princess was based on him. Anyways, he gets them up. If I can finish this fucking thought.
Sorry.
Rounds them up. It's like, we're gonna make a plan. Here's the plan. The plan basically, and I'm just gonna do bullet points. Step 1, dance around. Step 2, yell fun things like whoopee. Step 3, lure him into the jail cell. Number 4, beat the tar out of him. Step 5, free Jake. Step 6, profit. And LSP points out, like everyone's thinking, you were thinking it, I was thinking it. Don't be a cringe lord. No one says whoopee. He's gonna think we're faking it.
If we're all saying it.
He's gonna know we're faking it. And then he agrees, but then like kind of like, what's the alternative? And LSP gives that alternative. She says like, oh yeah, I'm having a fun time. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Probably the best time I've ever had in my entire life. I don't know. I had to put the captions on to get that
Because it got real mumbly. Yeah.
And it was really hard.
And Finn's just like, cool.
Anyways, Ice King comes back. Plans executed. They're all dancing, having a great time.
Do you see what he has on his tray?
No, because I was focused on the things he says next. But what's on his tray?
On his fun tray, right? He has. They were talking about it in the commentary. Yes, he has like a little miniature Ice King, like a little model of it, like some wires.
What? Like cable wires?
Like little
with like ends, like the little like metal ends of them.
I guess they're like all curled up and like they're tangled wires, basically, and like a 4-sided TTRPG die or multiple dice. And they're like, does he play D&D?
He is a wizard. A wizard, warlock, sorcerer.
Yeah. In the trivia, they just listed the replica of the Ice King.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Replica of the Ice King is funny. He basically... Ice King comes back with his fun tray with apparently a minifig of himself and some wires.
When you rewatch it or see the screen grab, you'll be like, oh my god. Like, it's like a full minifig of himself.
That's weird. But he has all that. He comes up. He's like, oh, they're all having fun. And immediately gets insecure. Probably because I left the room. Pendleton, come on.
Come on, dude.
Buddy.
Are you okay?
We're having a lot of fun and he's not in the room. Does that mean he sucks? I don't know. And Jake assures him, he's like, no, that's not the case. Like, you're super cool. We all love you. And then...
also fucked, by the way.
Yeah, kind of really playing with his very fragile state.
Yeah.
And Ice King's still like, I don't know. And then Finn's like, dance harder.
They just speed that.
It's just double motion. I remember like the Ghost Princess, like it's just doing flips faster and shit. And I just found that really funny. But so dances harder and he's convinced. Okay.
Yes.
That did it for him.
That was it.
They invite him in, and as soon as he crosses the threshold, and he's like, haha, yeah, like this is so fun, guys. Finn punches the shit out of him. Wait, no, that's not yet. He jumps on him and attacks him first.
Yeah.
And then he's punching him.
He's like, why?
They were just starting to warm up to me. That is not the case. He's like, wait, don't leave. I'll kill all of you.
You were just starting to like me. I'll kill all of you.
Yeah, it's like very community coded. What's his name? Pierce.
I'll kill you.
Very Pierce coded.
It kind of is. It fits.
Yeah.
Weird old man.
Probably racist. I don't know.
Probably.
Ice King is very delusional, and he's just like, we were just having fun. And that's not the case. I don't know how to help you, he says. Maybe I'm just a simple man. Maybe find someone with more life experience like Jake.
And Jake's like, whoa. Don't dump the Ice King on me.
But he ruins his plans with 5 to 6 potential wives. Which is very... Like, what do you mean 5 to 6? Like, first of all, you said you wanted 1 earlier.
Yeah.
And now 5 to 6.
Also, there's 7 of them in there.
Was there? I just went with him saying 6, that I was just like...
I'm pretty sure there's 7 of them
Name them.
Name them all. I don't remember all of them.
Name a woman. That's weird, though. I just assumed 5 to 6 as well. Anyways, it says you ruined my chance.
But also, that would imply 2.
Right.
If it was 5 to 6, you know.
Yeah, at least multiple.
Yeah.
But anyway, then he gets up and he's about to zap him, and then he just punches him really hard in the stomach, and then like he says, my beard. Which I want
my beard.
I want to talk about that. Just because I'm like, does that...
His beard has feelings.
So yeah, I put, oh, my beard, parentheses, feeling organ, possibly, question mark.
Definitely.
I mean, maybe it's just extended skin.
That's nasty.
Nasty. But then he gets kicked into the bars. Crown falls off. Potentially dangerous.
X's on eyes.
Yeah, he's dead as far as we know. No, but like obviously at the time we don't know that's the source of his magic. Mm-hmm. We don't know that's the thing keeping him alive when we're watching it, but we know that. Maybe, I mean, if you're listening to this, you probably know that.
I would hope so. What if they're watching the episodes for the first time and then listening to us?
Sorry.
That would be crazy.
I would say pause it right now.
No spoilers, question mark?
Spoiler alert. The Ice King is not just some crazy old man.
He has more to him than this episode
He
shows.
contains multitudes.
He sure does. He's a complicated fella.
His beard feels things. I feel like canonically he could, because he's passed out.
Yeah.
And the crown's off him. He could die.
I mean, if he were passed out long enough.
That's
I
what
guess.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's actually exactly what I have in my notes. I said if he's passed out long enough, technically he would die.
Yeah.
He goes into what appears to be, again, because we don't really know where he's supposed to be. Like, we don't know he's coming to the Cosmic Owl.
Yeah.
But we think, oh, maybe he's just having a dream and he's floating around naked, beard and hair flowing, and he's just zooming through it, and he's kind of feeling sorry for himself, having his little self-reflection monologue in the cosmosphere, I said. He's like, why don't people like me? Is it because I'm a magic user? Is my beard too shaggy?
Yeah.
Lists things that no one cares about.
Yeah.
Where that's not the problem.
No.
What's wrong with me? Ooh, you're a sociopath.
Do you know who voiced the Cosmic Owl?
That can't be Jeremy Shada, is
It's
it?
Jeremy Shada.
I kind of hear it. Like,
yeah, doing what he thought
You're
would
a
be
sociopath.
kind of a southern accent is
Yeah,
what
it
he
was-
was trying.
I hear it a little bit, but
I'm pretty sure he doesn't voice the Cosmic Owl in later seasons.
I don't think so either.
But he did for this episode.
And then,
His second voice, other than Finn.
and we love a good callback. She's like, "Who are you?" I know. You're a big nerd, wiggling his finger at him.
Like really wiggling that finger.
Really
Did you see
wiggling
it?
It was gross.
It was like he had no bones in that finger.
No bones. I mean, when you're in the cosmosphere, maybe you don't have bones.
Perhaps. But apparently he had a tattoo on his butt.
That's what I was gonna say. Was that part of the trivia?
Yeah.
Nice, because I saw it. I was gonna say at 10:28, you see a tattoo of a penguin on his right cheek.
Yep.
It says,
It's fast too.
Yeah. I was pausing a lot because I was like looking for weird details.
Yeah.
I was like, imagine my shock when I saw I paused at the right time for like up 2 or 3, 4 frames of tiny little penguin on butt. It was funny though.
It was funny.
And then he wakes up to penguins. Are they tickling him? Are they like, what are they doing? I don't know.
They're hanging out.
They're just kind of like.
Yeah.
The conclusion or the kind of epilogue of the story, you see Slime Princess laying some game on Finn. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, Jake, help. This brings me to. And I told you about this before. Our first sub-conflict.
Yes, our sub-conflict.
What? Do you want to guess what it's called? I promise you won't get it, but it's
Pee-pee pants?
closer than you think. It's called Pissgate. And in my note it says in all caps, Jake, help. Jake's help.
Yeah.
Says, you don't want him. He pees his pants constantly, like all the time. And then she says, put me down.
Put me down.
Put me down.
Everyone's like, ew.
Yeah. So that's the end of the episode. Did you happen to catch the snail?
I did. And I want to say, as the credits rolled, everyone cheered, like, in the commentary.
Uh-huh.
And then John DiMaggio yelled at everyone to go outside and get some exercise. He's just a funny dude.
Yeah.
But yes, the snail was pretty early on, actually.
I have it timestamped at 4:33.
Ooh, so fancy. Yes, in the jail cell with the princesses. Yeah.
I mean, that was kind of had to be, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of a bottle episode.
I was looking in the beginning really hard, like when they were sledding, because I'm like, easily
I know.
could have been
I
there.
was thinking that too.
And then it was like, bam, snail.
I was
like,
right by Slime Princess.
Yeah.
It was like bigger than it normally is.
It was, yeah.
Because she's small. So.
She's small, but it was like, oh, there's a snail. Like, it was like very obviously there. So I've got a little bit of extra trivia. We covered a lot of it, actually.
Bring it on.
Along with like Hot Dog Princess, barking, the Ice King having a tattoo, the miniature replica, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is one of the... I find these trivia points kind of funny when it's like, Jake uses his key hand for the first time. It's like, yeah, dude.
First episode, man.
So I find those ones like really funny.
Right.
Obviously, also, this was the first appearance of the Cosmic Owl. The soundtrack in this episode also plays in Princess Monster Wife when Finn and Jake interrogate the Ice King.
I forgot about that episode.
You remember it?
Let me show you something special.
Yes.
Save that sound. I nailed that.
That was pretty good.
The voice break and everything. Go on.
So yeah, when Finn and Jake were interrogating the Ice King, the soundtrack from this episode plays in that one, which is way down the line. And it's just like, oh, that's a fun little parallel.
Right.
The loop of Finn and Jake catching air on the office chair in the start of the episode is used as an outro animation for official Cartoon Network uploads of Adventure Time YouTube videos. This episode was originally titled Meet the Ice King.
Cute. Meet the Fockers.
Yeah. In this trivia, it says this was the second episode produced, but they all remembered it as like one of the first that they recorded, so we don't know. But it definitely was the one that got the show greenlit. And then there was an alternate beginning to this episode in which the Lava Man is at the treehouse.
So it kind of shows how they get there.
Yeah, and then I think they just cut that for time, you know. And also, they're just like, we're here, and
Like, we don't need to explain this.
Yeah, it's fine.
We're sledding.
We're sledding. So censorship.
Not much, you said.
Not much. Sleds are for suckers.
Nice.
Finn and Jake arguing about the context that hot is used was cut. And I try to be such a good husband for girls. The line from Ice King was cut. That shaves...
As it should have been.
Yeah. It should never have been in there. It shaved 17.5 seconds off of the viewing in Australia and the Philippines. And that's all I got for you today.
Beautiful.
Now comes the time where we check on our food.
And play the ads.
So we'll be back after this break.
You know, before we go to the break, actually, I just think I have a little bit of, empathy for the Ice King. And I think he could really benefit from some therapy. Which brings us to our sponsor.
I knew that was coming.
And tune in for that. Thank you.
Our fake ad.
Our very fake ad. Don't take anything seriously. If the website happens to exist, don't go to it.
This is a bit that we're doing.
This is a silly, silly bit. And don't take it seriously. Thanks.
So we'll be back after this ad.
Hey friends, let's get real for a minute. Life can be overwhelming. You know that feeling when your mind just won't stop racing? Or it feels like the weight of the world is sitting right on your chest? Yeah, I've been there too. That's why I want to tell you about Omniportance, an online therapy service that's changing the game. They connect you with licensed therapists on your schedule, right from the comfort of your own space. No long drives, no waiting rooms, no judgment, just real help when you need it. And listen, I get it. Starting online therapy can feel intimidating, but you don't have to do it alone. Omniportance makes it easy for you to get matched with someone who really gets you. Whether you want to talk on video, by phone, or even through messages, it's all on your terms. And here's the best part. They're making it even easier to take that first step. Using the promo code LICKSTUFF50, you get 50% off your first 2 months. Yeah, 2 whole months at half the cost. Because investing in yourself shouldn't break the bank. So if you're thinking, maybe it's time to try therapy, this is your sign. So head to omniportance.com using the promo code LICKSTUFF50 and start feeling like you again. Because you deserve peace, and Omniportance is here to help you find it.
This ad is for comedic purposes only. Any companies, products, or services mentioned are completely fictional and should not be taken seriously. This ad serves as a wildly self-indulgent attempt to launch a voice acting career. No actual endorsements, partnerships, or corporate conspiracies were harmed in the making of this ad. Many will enter, few will win. Enjoy responsibly.
With arms wide open. All right, and we're back. Welcome back, you guys.
guys.
Savvy is currently covering her eyes because I couldn't really cover this dish. So
I don't even know if I'm talking like into the microphone or not.
Yeah,
so.
kinda.
Okay.
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. It smells so good.
Well, yeah, that's the other giveaway. Is you can probably tell by smell, but go ahead and open.
Yeah.
So this is called.
What is happening on this part?
So this was kind of an improv.
Okay.
Okay, so what we're looking at, it's French toast.
Yes.
And there's a mountain of powdered sugar.
Oh, okay. I see. I see the vision.
But the reason why the mountain's there, why it's
Yeah.
a crumbled up piece, I made an uneven amount.
So you wanted to split it up?
Yeah, I want to split one for you. And then I was like, it looks awful. So then I was like, well, powdered sugar's got to go somewhere. And it just clicked, like literally moments before I brought this in.
Yes. Beautiful.
It's called Wild Berries Bounty.
Aww.
So.
Well, mine's really dark then. I'll show you mine now.
I see they're covered. I know you brought drinks this time.
Yes. So.
And I heard a blender going, oh no.
It's kind of blended up wild berry princess.
But part of her body remains?
Yeah, that's just the garnish.
Oh, I forgot to say, yeah, there's strawberries, there's raspberries, and there's blueberries.
Yes.
So it's because I'm like, well, wild berry is an overarching category.
Yeah, she looks more like a raspberry.
For sure.
But yeah.
But wow, yeah, this is so red.
So this is a little like margarita mocktail.
Mm-hmm.
It's fully frozen because they are frozen raspberries. It's gonna be a little tart.
I love tart.
Some lime juice. I kind of like the tartness in this as well, but Jake was like, huh. I meant to do a sugar rim.
Yeah, I saw the sugar out there.
Yeah.
Did you pour it first?
No. No. Well, I poured the drink first, yeah. And because I forgot that I was going to do a sugar
That's what I
rim.
meant,
I was
yeah.
like, fuck. So I took some sugar and I sprinkled it over the top to look kind of, it's melting a bit
It
now.
appears it's submerged.
Yeah, it's a little submerged at this point, but I haven't done it on the picture one where it's like supposed to be frosted over the like
I see.
mint leaves.
Like she died frozen.
Kind of, yeah. So, you know,
Ice
Ice
King-
King juiced her.
In the alternate reality, when he said, like, come back, I'll kill you,
Well,
he
he's
fired
like,
one off.
He literally said, I'm going to turn you into juice if you
Yes.
don't play this melody right.
Ding, 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 ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding.
And so this is where he turned her into juice and then she's frozen.
Gotcha.
So,
I can see that.
so
Yeah.
I'm like, mine's a lot
I
darker.
did see, like, I went out there and because I saw the cutting board still, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I already knew it was like gonna be a raspberry drink. I know you.
Yeah.
I know your vibe.
Well, and I figured for the pictures we'd have like little lime wedges too. You know, that's why
So
there's...
I saw lime wedges and sugar in a pile. I'm like, oh,
I
so it's
grabbed too much.
margaritas. Right.
It sure is.
All
So,
right. Well, cheers.
cheers. Oh, that was a really sad clink.
Mine's probably cold by now, but
I know, I tried to do it fast.
it's okay. I have beef with your pan, by the way.
Tastes good though.
Does it? Mm-hmm. Good. I made it a little different than I normally do. Mm-hmm. For a couple reasons. One, you don't own eggs. You have this plant egg base thing, and
They know about it already from the previous
Right.
episodes.
well, luckily I found a conversion on the back where it's like, oh, for recipes, like 1 egg is 3 tablespoons. I'm like, oh,
Yes.
thank God. Like,
Yeah.
I have measurements.
I meant to tell you that, but I was on the phone.
That's not bad.
I love this. This is good French toast.
It's got some vanilla extract in there. It's got some, obviously, cinnamon. A tiny bit of salt. I read a recipe that said to add a little salt to balance the sweet.
Just a little bit of salt.
And
Especially with that syrup.
And that's what I did.
This is really good.
Thank you.
A little breakfast for dinner. Oh, I forgot to finish going through my ingredients. So, frozen raspberries, lime juice, a couple drops of vanilla extract, which I thought was an interesting thing, and then orange juice to kind of sweeten it up. It also said like, oh, you can add stevia, and I was like, who wants that?
I don't even know what that is. What is stevia?
Fake sugar.
Okay, I thought so. I
mean,
feel like
it's from a plant, you know, so
Right.
it's not fake sugar, but it's like a sugar alternative, you know.
right.
I should say before people get in the comments.
I'm just gonna dig in right now.
No, I'm straight up just eating and sipping on my little mocktail.
We'll just cut so you don't have to hear all this.
All right, so we're back. We just chowed down on some French
Literally,
toast.
that was not that long.
No.
We munched.
We wolfed it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this was super good.
I kind of forgot we had to rate these, though.
Yeah, no, that is definitely part of the show.
Our scale, I fear it needs to be bigger.
Because we're like, these are great.
Everything's great. No, because if we were working with like a 10-point scale,
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like I could, monkey around with this 7 through 9 a lot more.
Yeah.
And keep that kind of...
I mean, we can always adapt it. It'll be fine. In our current framework, though, I would say that the French toast was pretty freaking up there, dude.
Hey, man,
I would even go to say that it was a mathematical.
Which is the best?
Yes. You forget every time.
And I will continue to.
All right, as a refresher.
Oh, yeah. Remind everyone what the scale is. Because,
Yes.
tell them, because...
Not you. No, because you know your own scale.
Yeah.
This is a podcast you're part of.
I help make it. Yeah.
So from worst to best, it's unacceptable.
Can't do
Check,
it.
please.
Check, please.
Nooch.
I remember Nooch. Hard to forget
Tops,
Nooch.
bluebies.
Okay. You think it's the top, but it's not the top.
Right. And then mathematical.
Got it.
So I would say presentation wise, it looked really good. It was very creative with the little like mountain with the snow on
Broken
it.
French toast.
Yeah, but you worked with what you had, and it was like a nice little creative like
Well, thank you.
little step in there, and then the fruit kind of surrounding it. It looked very nice.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you.
And it tasted very nice.
If you
if
actually,
a little cold.
if you looked at the quality of the French toast, it was not great, but
It tasted awesome.
it tasted really good. I'm not gonna lie.
We're also starving.
Honestly, you could have put a plate of anything in front of me.
I was like, be careful. No, but it was very, very tasty.
Good. I just wish we made more. But
I
then we
know.
have dinner coming up, so.
We do have dinner coming up. Jake was funny because he's like, oh,
And-
why am I even make? Oh yeah, Jake,
Not-
my husband. Sorry, guys.
I was like, let's say this now.
He was like, why am I even going to be making dinner? You guys are making food. I'm like, well, I'm making a mocktail.
And I have no idea what Seth's making.
yeah, and I was like, I don't know
Seth
what.
could make trail mix.
that was the thing. I'm like, Seth might make trail mix, and I'm like, but then you had texted me like, do you have milk? And I'm like, I don't know what Seth. It's not trail mix.
Trail mix cereal. That'd be funny.
Yeah, and I'm like, but it's not gonna be something.
Fulfilling. Or
Yeah.
Filling, not fulfilling.
Sethy,
Got really deep.
you okay? It's
This wasn't really fulfilling for me.
well, especially with these. Like, there's gonna be a lot of sweets, man.
Mhm.
You gotta get over it.
I gotta say, that's a sweet I will eat every time.
It's French
like-
toast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like a bready sweet. Like, it's
Bread is sweet.
a bread is sweet.
Do you like Granny's? I'm putting you on the spot. Do you like Granny's bread pudding?
Yes.
She listens.
You could have said anything. Yeah, honestly, I'm not a huge bread. It's like bread pudding's like wet. That makes sense.
So's French toast.
But it's different wet.
It's so
it's
funny
dense wet.
because I just think bread
Yes.
pudding is basically French toast in a casserole.
It's not bad. I think it's because of the shape. It's like I'm glad French toast is flat and like kind of because I'm like
Oh, because it's like
It's, like,
thick and you have to
porous.
scoop it out.
it's that part of it
It's
that
not
I don't
individual slices of bread.
like. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I do like the flavor of it, but it gets like if you scrape the bottom of like a bread pudding, it gets like milky and weird.
What would you say for le drink?
Ugh. I just took a sip. That's bad. What if I was being dead serious?
I'd be like, what?
No, it's good. It reminds me a lot of this one place I went to a lot. It's called Juice Shack. It was like a smoothie place. So you kind of made this into like a margarita sort of thing, but it literally tastes like, I almost said word for word. It almost tastes word for word like the raspberry smoothie
Oh, yeah.
at Juice Shack. And it's really good. And I'm a big tart guy. Mm-hmm. That's my flavor profile. Make my mouth go, ooh, like, you know.
Do you like sour candy type of stuff?
more
or-
so than I do like regular candy.
Oh, okay.
But like I also think like too much sour candy, like that's a lot of sugar going on. Like
It's a lot of sugar and it starts to like eat at your mouth.
But like when I think about it, I just drool. Like you know, like when you act like that part of
Yeah.
your mouth activates.
Yeah, well, because like the sour flavor, similar with bitter. It stimulates like saliva and digestive juices and stuff.
Interesting.
Isn't it interesting?
Like, I could literally just think of like a pack of the fucking or whatever in my mouth.
Sour candy.
Yeah, you know. A pack of that barrel of toxic waste. Wait, other brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you just tongue instantly is like.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, good.
I do.
I don't love sour, but I like a little tart. Like this is like still sweet enough for me, you know, because I do like sweet. I've been growing a little bit away from like the overly sweet that I used to really like.
I don't think I've ever been that one.
Oh
like,
my god, I used to
personally.
have like the ultimate sweet tooth. It was so bad.
Yeah.
But I haven't been having sugar. And when you don't have sugar for a while,
Yeah, it kind of like loses its effect and, you know,
Yeah.
crave on you. I go to like froyo places
yeah,
and there's always like just it's like what they show as like original or like the boring flavor, but it's always this really good like one place called like original tart. I think that's Pinkberry does, like it's called original tart. And I'm like,
or dessert yogurt place.
whatever. We gotta move on. I know that was my idea, but we can't. It's so hard not to reference brands.
I know. I'll leave it in. It's
I know,
fine.
but
I'll also leave the dessert yogurt place.
I don't care. But basically, yeah, all of them will have like an original tart flavor, something like that, where it'll show like, or it's just basically the one that you would look at and you're like, oh, that's just like vanilla, basic ass bitch.
Yeah.
But it's so good. And it's just this like calm tart like little thing.
Yum.
And I love it. And I put strawberries on it. I'll put like, if they have like a waffle cone thing, I'll put that in there.
Ooh.
I'm a raspberries, blueberries, blackberries.
Load her up.
Fill her up. Fill
her up.
with berries and like that kind of stuff. I've never been like, I need to pour chocolate on everything.
Oh, dude. Here's the thing, is I would do all of that and then like drizzle the chocolate on, because berries and chocolate are just like
I never kind of chocolate covered strawberry fan, but like
I love the
not
chocolate
like
covered
that
strawberry.
much. Like I would just prefer regular strawberry, which is crazy. I know.
No, I mean I love strawberries.
I know, but no one like prefers it. You know, like,
over a chocolate strawberry. Yeah,
everyone like I know likes the chocolate. I mean, I guess I'm just different.
You might also not like the chocolate shell part of it too.
No, I love a chocolate shell.
Oh.
I think that's so fascinating.
It is interesting.
Like, you know, like remember what was it, the
like miracle shell
yeah,
thing.
yeah, that's so cool. It's just too bad it's chocolate.
Well, they make like butterscotch ones.
That
and
sounds
stuff.
gross.
I'm not a fan.
It just sounds like too sweet. I know a butterscotch. I used to love butterscotch candies, like
Yeah.
old people. Like,
You are an old person.
like oh, you're fucking one to talk. But like, I think Dad would have them like just
Because
like
Dad's an old
in a drawer. He was like 40,
in a drawer.
like wrapped up. Like, but he would
That's
just
like such old person
I know, it was like in a desk or something. He would just have some, maybe.
loose in his pockets.
Yeah, but no, he just had them, and I remember I definitely like stole a bunch of them, and they were really good. Sorry, Dad.
Butterscotch candies are good.
But yeah, I
Not
can't.
as good as chocolate.
I can't imagine hard chocolate candy. Anyway, yeah. Is there anything else we're doing?
Oh, we gotta rate this
Oh.
one.
Bad.
I wouldn't say that this one is mathematical, partially because
Thank God I didn't have to say it.
because I forgot to
Sugar
the rim. So presentation is lacking, and I also have already poured the third one, so it's not gonna have a sugared rim.
What the hell, dude?
I know. I
Pour it in another cup.
and just redo it.
Yeah.
I mean, we can.
They
Yeah.
pour it into like your cup or something.
Yeah. We got other cups. They'll be
Pour
fine.
it in the blender. God.
That's true. The blender's in the sink.
I know.
So I would say because it doesn't have a sugar rim, that docks it on presentation points, because that was gonna look hella good.
It would look really good. It kind of looks
With,
like Christmas
ice.
right now.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
As it's melting.
It's like the leaves are sinking in. What are these leaves?
They're mint leaves.
Oh,
I just thought they'd be pretty.
they're pretty. But you know what? It looks like the
The holly.
and yeah,
Yeah.
and like what are the other plants? Are they poinsettias?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of has that vibe to it too.
It's a very Christmassy vibe.
Right. And No, there's a lot of background sound right now, so we're
Could you hear it in the headphones?
yeah, a
Oh,
lot.
Dang. Sorry. My husband Jake is cooking us dinner in several rooms over.
Yeah. But you guys just got new hardwood floors.
Yeah, so things are a little
Congratulations.
echoey. We were supposed to start this podcast like a year ago. So.
No, we were supposed to start it. Well, if numerically, yes, a year ago, but
like 6 months ago.
like yeah, we talks started in like April.
But anyways, I think we're good.
Yeah, I didn't get to rate it.
Oh yeah, what would you rate it?
You didn't technically rate it either.
No, I said it wouldn't be mathematical because of the presentation's off.
Yeah. I feel comfortable giving it a tops bloobs.
Tops is good because it's like it's tart, but it's not too tart. It's not so sweet. It actually paired really nicely with the French toast. It was lovely together.
Because it had all the fruit with it too, so it was like a nice transition.
Yeah. And it was like the French toast wasn't overly sweet, but
I'm surprised it wasn't.
No,
Actually,
it was good.
I didn't tell you the full ingredients because I even added honey into it.
Oh, yum.
I added honey. I added syrup into the batter.
Yeah.
Honey, syrup, vanilla extract, a little bit of powdered sugar into the batter.
Yeah.
Literally everything suggested this was going to be a sweet train wreck.
Like overload.
Right.
It was really good and it felt kind of balanced, and then obviously I put in the syrup because I like sweet.
Of course.
So it was sweet but not too sweet, and then there's like a little bit of tartness, you know.
Yeah, with the little berries on the side.
Little berries.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoyed.
But congrats on your first mathematical.
Thank you. Was it?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
You didn't give last week a mathematical?
I thought I did.
After everything that happened?
No, I think we docked it because it was so cursed.
That's not my fault.
No, we both did it.
I think so.
We were like, we can't give a mathematical because we're just so down.
You know what? That makes sense.
I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to come out swinging.
I haven't finished editing
Sorry,
that
I called
episode.
you a beep. Can you put the beep over it?
The second time too.
Yeah. And then keep the part where it said,
yeah.
Can you put the beep over it? But put the beep over that. You get it.
And it's continuing.
Yeah, it's still going.
All right. Well, we got to get out of here. We've been recording for way too long.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Glad you had a good old time with us.
I hope you did.
I hope you did. What do we got next week?
I believe it's tree trunks.
Tree trunks. Let's go. I already have an idea.
We gotta talk about what we're gonna make.
Yeah, because we're gonna make the same thing.
Because when you think of tree trunks, what do you think of?
Her hot buns.
I already made those, but
No, obviously apple pie.
Apple pie. So we're gonna have to.
We might make a joint apple pie on this one. We'll talk about it.
And there's also, I think, some crystal apple action going on. So we'll talk about it. But while we talk about this and you guys wait for the next episode to air, go ahead and follow us on Instagram at DDJLS Podcast.
And if you're not so much into pictures and you just like YouTube, you can find us at DDJLS Podcast, or just look up Dude Don't Just Look stuff. Either way, you can probably find us.
Yep.
You can email us also at ddjlspodcast@gmail.com. Got anything else?
Dude, don't just look stuff.
See ya, bitches.
Play the outro. No. I love how we just keep going and play the outro. Do you remember how I thought that, or did I tell you this, that Ariana Grande was dating Tom Kenny? Did I tell you this?
No, but you said it was SpongeBob. That's funny.
So someone was like, Ariana Grande's dating SpongeBob. And I was like, Tom Kenny?
Oh.
Oh.
Something just changed within me.
Something is not the same?
I'm tired of fucking playing by the rules of someone else's game. I want to fuck that hot dog.
Whoa, what?
Gonna fuck hot dog, princess. No. Cut all that. Finn. His name's not Finn.
Finn Mint.
Finmint. Wait, shit. Finn.
Or, sorry, I should say Peppermint. Cookie.
Jesus Christ. Child Scout cookie. Child Scout mint cookie. Anyway,
I don't know if this will be in the bloopers or not, but Jake is currently making us spaghetti. Well, penne, but pasta.
What a weird life we live.
We're eating breakfast, and then we're gonna get dinner.
I call it speed running my day. I love me berries.
Mm-hmm. Berries are the best.
Bears, 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 You bears gotta get... When does that episode come up?
It's a bit.
With arms wide open. It's back.
First, I'm a class here at MIT. Got skills, I'm a champion at D&D.
All right.
Yes, that's my favorite MC. Keep your 40, I'll just have an Earl Grey tea. My rims never spin, to the contrary. You'll find it there by quite stationary.
I'll just let you get the zoom.
All of my action figures and Sherry. Stephen Hawking in my library. My MySpace page is totally pimped out. Got people begging for my top 8 spaces. Yo, an old pie to 1,000 places. Ain't got no grills, but I still wear braces. I order all my sandwiches with mayonnaise. I'm a whiz and minesweeper on a plate for days. Who's gonna stay in maze? Fingers moving so fast because we start this place ablaze.